What's up guys, and welcome back to Software Knowledge Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Warzone FPS drops, or commonly known as frame drop. Now a lot of people are having this issue with this game. It doesn't matter what user you are, if you're an AMD user, an Nvidia user, an Intel HD graphics user, a gaming PC user, a gaming laptop user, a PC user, or a laptop user, it doesn't matter. A lot of people are having frame drops in this game, and it's a commonly known issue. Now today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that you can do to get more frames out of your game and get better visibility inside your game. This helped me out, and I'm sure this will help you out. Now first of all, I just want to jump straight into this. Thanks to everyone out there that's watching my videos and subscribing to my YouTube channel, because it really means a lot to me, because I'm trying to get to that 1k subs. Once I hit that 1k subs, I'm going to shout out every single person that is subscribed to my YouTube channel, that's leaving comments and stuff like that. Especially if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm going to go shout you out, because it means really a lot to me. It really does. Now, let's jump straight into this and just show you what you need to do. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go to the little search button over here and type in settings just like this, and go to the settings option. Now, if you don't see this like this, I'm pretty sure you will. There's an easier way to do this. Just go to the start button and go to the settings key icon over here and click on settings and click on update and security, and make sure your Windows is up to date. Always make sure that your Windows is up to date on a regular basis, because if you do not do this, you are going to get frame drops inside not just Warzone, but in every other game that you play. You need to keep your operating system up to date. It doesn't matter what user you are. If you're a laptop user or a desktop user, keep your Windows up to date. I know a lot of people forget about this, because I'm also a forgetful user. I also forget about this, but I try and keep my Windows up to date on a regular basis. Just try and keep it in mind, and it will help you a lot. Alright, so the next thing that you're going to need to do is update your graphics card drivers. If you're an AMD user, an Intel user, or Intel HD graphics user, or a Nvidia user, keep your graphics card up to date. Now I know there's a long way of doing this, where you go to Google and type in Nvidia drivers update, or AMD drivers update, or Intel HD graphics update. There's an easier way of doing this. All you need to do is go to the search button over here and type in device manager, just like that, and click on device manager. Once device manager opens, go to display adapters, click on the graphics card you're currently running, right click on it and say update drivers. So search automatically for drivers, and if your graphics card is out of date, it will start updating it, and it will start downloading the latest drivers for your graphics card. Now this is very important, because Warzone intends to need the latest drivers for your graphics card to get more FPS out of your game. Alright, so once you're done with that, I'm going to show you a tip that you can do to help you get just better overall experience in Warzone. So every time before you go into Warzone, before you go and play this game or any other game, but especially Warzone, do this. Go to the search button over here at the bottom and type in run. Okay? There's the easier way of doing this. Just press the Windows key and R, and it will bring up the run tab for you. Then what you're going to need to do is press Shift and 5 to bring up the percentage symbol, and type in temp, and Shift and 5 and press enter. And everything inside here, you might have a lot of nonsense inside here. All you need to do is just click on anything, press Ctrl and A so it highlights everything, right click on it and say delete. Just say skip, because Windows is currently using these two files. Just say skip again, and then exit out of this once that is done, and then right click on your recycling bin, say empty recycling bin and say yes. Once you're done with that, you're going to go back to the run tab just like this, and you're going to type in prefetch just like that, so it looks just like that, and say okay. Say continue, and just click on anything and press Ctrl and A, let it highlight everything, right click on it and say delete. Just say skip, because Windows is currently using these two files. Just exit out of this, empty your recycling bin and say yes. Once you're done with that, now if you are a Nvidia user like me or an AMD user, you have two settings. Nvidia users have Nvidia control panel, and AMD users has Radeon setting. Now this is for better visibility, and I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do inside this to get better visibility inside your game, and it helps a lot, trust me, especially for places like where it's dark inside the game, where, for instance, where there's stairs and someone's sitting on top of the stairs and it's in a really dark corner and you do not see them, so you run around, you don't see them, and they completely just wreck you, and you just get upset for it because you can't see the player. Now I'm going to show you what you can do to help you out, because this helped me out, and it helps a lot of people out there with just these simple tips and tricks and tweaks that you can do with Nvidia control panel and Radeon settings. Now, I can't go over Radeon settings because I'm not a Radeon user, but you can follow these steps. It's exactly the same for AMD users. This is just for Nvidia users. All right, so you right click on your desktop and go to the Nvidia control panel. If you do not see this, all you need to do is go to the search button here and type in Nvidia control panel. Right click on it on your desktop, go to Nvidia control panel, open up Nvidia control panel. Once the Nvidia control panel has opened, what you're going to need to do, number one, is go to adjust image settings with preview. Just open this up. Where it says use the advanced 3D image settings, click on use my preference and change this all the way from quality to performance and say apply. Or you can put it into the middle where it says balanced, so it does performance and it does quality at the same time, and you just say apply. Once this is applied, all you're going to need to do is go here and select the graphics card you're currently running and say apply. Do not select your CPU. I repeat, do not select your CPU. You're going to bottleneck your CPU, and this is not going to work for you. Your game is going to stutter, you're going to get frame drops, and your game is not going to work properly. So select your graphics card that you're currently running and say apply. Once you're done with that, what you're going to need to do is you're going to go to adjust desktop color settings, and you're going to go here. If you have multiple monitors like me, what you're going to need to do is select the main monitor that you're currently using to play your game on, and all you need to do is this, where it says digital vibrance. Now I'm just going to click here. Now do this yourself. Click on this image here, click 3, and then change this back all the way to 50. Okay, that's your stock settings. Okay, it's all washed out. Now just move this to about, you can say 75. You can play around with this. I put mine on 85 just like that, and I say apply, and I keep mine just like this for when I play my games. Now, when you're done playing your games, whatever games it might be, it doesn't just have to be Warzone. It could be any other game out there. Like, I did this especially also for PUBG, and it helps me with color inside the game, and it helps me a lot inside the game to get more digital vibrance out of my game, and my game looks really, really fantastic. It doesn't look washed out. It doesn't look shit, trash. It just looks really, really good. Now, once you're done with the game, and you're on your desktop and you stopped playing whatever game you are playing and you're watching movies and stuff like that, just maybe turn this back to 50 or wherever you want to turn it to and just say apply. Okay, so once you're done with that, I'm just going to show you something quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go into Warzone where it says general, okay, where it says brightness. You can see it says not visible, barely visible, and easily visible. I highly recommend changing this from 50 to about 60, just like that, 60, okay? Or change this to 65, like that. So you can see enemies better that's hiding in little corners where it's dark. Because a lot of people are running into this problem where they are running into enemies where it's so dark they can't see them. Okay, so change this to about 65. This is your own personal preference. You can play around with the brightness, especially with your monitor, because everyone out there has different types of monitors. Now, a lot of people are struggling with this because they're taking their monitor and pressing the buttons on their monitor like, oh God, I want to change this to game mode. I want to change the brightness. No, you do not need to touch your monitor at all. You just need to change these settings that I'm showing you now. Okay, and this will help you out a lot. Just follow these steps and your gameplay experience will be much, much better. Trust me. Okay, so brightness, put it between 60 and 65 or even 70. It doesn't matter. Just put it up a bit so you can actually see enemies where they are hiding in dark corners. Okay, once you're done with this, where it says field of view, okay, change this to your own personal preference. I keep mine at 120 so I can see more on my left and right hand side. And this helps me a lot to see enemies, especially if I'm running around too quick and moving left and right too quick. I can see them better. Because if you move this down and you put it on about 60, then it looks like that. That's how much you can see. It shows you a preview. So I keep mine at 120, then I can see all of this. You do not just want to see that or that or that. You want to see everything. So it's actually highly recommended to put this on 120, but it's your own personal preference. All right, once you're done with that, you just say apply, and then you go to graphics settings. Over here, full screen. This, your monitor that you're currently running. This, you choose your graphics card that you're currently using. This, refresh rate of your monitor. So if you have a gaming monitor that does 120, 144, 240 hertz, select your refresh rate for your monitor. Okay? resolution, I highly recommend putting this at 1080p if you're using a 1080p monitor. If you're using anything lower than a 1080p monitor, like a 720p monitor, select 720p. Now, if you are using a 1080p display on your laptop or on your desktop as a monitor, and you're doing 1080p as a display or monitor, and you're still doing low FPS, then I highly recommend changing this down to about 90%, just like that, and say apply. If you're still getting low FPS, then change this to about either 95, 90, or you can change it down to about 85, just like that, and say apply. Do not worry, your game will not look like that. Your game will definitely not look like that. It will look very similar to this, but it will not look like that. Maybe your game will look like that if you do that. Then your game might look like that. But between 85, 90, 95, and 100, your game will look absolutely fine. So just keep it between these settings and you should be perfectly fine with your gameplay experience. This one here, keep it on automatic. Disable, unlimited, disable, disable. Do not restart your shader installation. The only reason why you would click on this button is if your shaders at the top here has not completed, or they have got stuck somehow, or something is wrong with your shader installation. Then you click on this little button and it will restart your shader installation. It's highly recommended to let it finish and say installation complete, because if you do not let it complete, you are going to get frame loss, because a lot of people try and rush into the game. They get into the game, then it shows you installing shaders to optimize gameplay, performance, whatever the fucking word is. Just let it install finish, because if you don't let it install finish and you rush into the game and you say play and you search for a game while it's still installing, you get into the game, you're going to get less FPS. Now this over here, keep this on 2.2. It actually helps a lot the gameplay experience. Streaming quality, put this on low. Texture resolution, you can put this on normal and your game will look perfectly fine. If you can put this on high, put this on high and you should be fine. Keep this on high, keep this on high. Enable this, put this on all. Disable this. This is highly recommended to disable. Keep it disabled. This, keep it on low. You do not need this at all, because if you start turning this up, it starts eating your VRAM, and you do not need this at all. You don't need it. Put this off, disable this, disable this. Now, these two play a very important role on some computers, so you can play around with them, so you can enable them. It will eat a little bit of your VRAM on your graphics card, but it can help you with, as it says, spot shadows and sun shadows. So you can enable this or disable this, it doesn't matter. I keep mine disabled to get more FPS out of my game. Okay? Keep this on ultra. It doesn't do anything at all to your PC. Just keep this on ultra. DirectX ray tracing. I have a DirectX ray tracing graphics card, and this actually makes the game worse. So disable this and keep it disabled, and you'll get more FPS out of your game. This one over here, keep it on both. It actually helps. This one over here, disable it. Do not put it on low. Do not put it on normal. Do not put it on high. Disable this, and you'll get more FPS out of your game. This over here, this you can play around with, but I highly recommend keeping this on 0.00, so it actually looks like that and not like that. Okay? This one over here, you disable this. You do not put this on ultra performance, balanced, or quality. Maybe if you're rocking a 30 series graphics card, you can play around with this and it's your own personal preference, but I highly recommend just putting this on disable and keep this on here, and your game will look absolutely beautiful and you'll have a smooth gameplay experience. This over here, disable it. You do not need this. It's a multiplayer game. You do not need this. This, disable it. You do not need this. Again, I'm going to say it. It's a multiplayer game. Do not enable this. You are going to get shot in your face if you move too fast and you can't see the enemies over here, especially if you're moving left or right. You won't see the enemies and you're going to get shot straight in the face, and that's your own problem. Okay? This over here, you disable. Film gain, you put this on 0.00. Do not put this up because it's going to look like that and your game's going to look like horseshit. So don't do that. Keep this on disable and put this on 300. And then once you're done with that, you just apply it. And as you can see, I'm already doing about 30-40 more frames than I was doing before. So this does help a lot. Another thing you can do to make your gameplay experience much better and get more FPS out of your game, all you need to do is this. Just press Ctrl Alt Delete on your keyboard, go to Task Manager, and then go to Call of Duty. Go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right click on it, and go to Details. Go to Call of Duty or Modern Warfare.exe, go to it, go to Set Priority, and set it to High, and you'll get more FPS out of your game. Do not put this on real time. Do not put it on above normal. You can actually try above normal and high, but I highly recommend putting this on high, and your game will use all the resources it can out of your laptop or your desktop computer to get this game up and running perfectly fine. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if this worked for you, leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here. I upload videos on Warzone and other games on a regular basis for FPS boosts and everything to do with Warzone. So if you would like to see more videos about when I upload, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that bell notification icon. If you don't want to do this to your PC because of Warzone, and I'll really do appreciate it. And as always, peace out.